Doreen, caught in the yard and brought to a room by a man with a badge and a gun. Doreen, caught on the sniffle by a cop with manners who said, "Have you a cold? Do you need a tissue?" She wiped her eyes and soft replied, "I'm fine, you watch, I'm fine." Watched the hated face, the cool distended stare. He searched her, he found that she was clean as snow. Next, Doreen flashed her hand and showed him the chance for a kill. She exposed the pill, the dark underside of the pill, the fatal mistake. She would swallow it, but he checked her. A fatal mistake. Pill slipped from her hand. She moved to retrieve it. A fatal mistake as he made her step back from his place. A fatal mistake, for the thing went off and ripped off his face and snapped off his badge, and his gun hand burned, and it wasn't over quickly. He went out slowly. Doreen kept her face after burning the man who knew what she carried. If you haven't guessed, you ought to know she's always been careful and white as snow. Liberty, New York. She walks down Main Street, having managed to stay slim-waisted and fresh in a town that loves its freshness wrapped up. Rednecks, they love it private, won't touch it except today, the 4th of July, when they run rip-raw up and down, looking for fresh things to taste, tear, and tremble out of sight with. They walk past me, grieving, into this holiday. The town is leaking at the corners, secret thrills. I'm held up. The sign reads, "Life ends here." Around these parts, her caress is as famous as death. It's told she holds her men for the kill and never gets measured herself. But having come a long way, with nothing else to do in the town, I stepped a pace and looked her up, and she led me in, all softness, and covered my mouth as if to silence caution. Then, slowly, she worked her fingers into my mouth. I thought it was sex. It might have been murder. And if I hadn't been clued by one who knows, I'd still be calling her deathlock love. So just as the town ends, I too left clean, glad to be alive and breathing. See, on some dull evening, when there is no TV, it's occurred to me that every touch is the touch of death, the marking out of the mortal flesh, wanting, through touching, to break skin, to annihilate the flesh while celebrating it. So I imagined the Wild West. In such a place, the town ends suddenly and clearly, and everything beyond is wild and clean. Money talks. Listen to the sound of the man who sneaks in his pants, sneaks by the jewelry store, by the telegraph office. There he holds up the wires and gags the man. He says, money talks. Give me your jewels or your life. He takes the jewels, makes the switch, returns and cuts throats to the tune of millions. Movies love it. Money talks, nobody walks. He sneaks out the store, no one is speaking, coins jingle jangle, money he smiles at and money talks back. I've given you my life, you give me yours. No danger in it really. He'll get down and cut someone for change in the money talk. Up when in spite of the neatness of your hair you find that in order to do a day's good work you need a month to rest, a week to move, and another week to finish up. Also, if you can't get out the door and if when you do you come back with infections, you might be bad, but if you check the mirror and you're still neat, if you're not too impolite, then you may walk straight. I mean, my brother, you can straighten up, walk out, and carry on. Small skimmer, flat, not quite a rock, and light enough to curve in the air. The hand tosses out. I fly off on a bent course and lightly skim across the water from the shallows to the deep. Skipping, hitting my shadow, leaving it, hitting my shadow. Tossed right I could hit so many times. The light skip of the skimmer, flying across the water, could be almost silent, swift, light, and gay. When I hit my shadow in the end, I'll plunge, make noise, and drown it. Foolish heart, in the end I'm neither light nor gay, but deep. It's mid-October. The tree is alive. She's waiting for cold, growing stronger. She's waiting for frost and the end of leaves, growing stronger. She'll take the snow, shed it, shine from ice, and never break. It's mid-October, and the trees are fooling us, looking as they do, like dying and fever. November, and the flies are rushing into the house to die. I'm told it's the poison in the house that makes them die the way they do. In September, I put out poison for the mice and sprayed the wasps and the eaves they nest in. I wasn't thinking about flies at the time. Now it's happened, and I wonder, would they do better in the cold? Where could they scavenge? Who would know them? What of one alone? Who could hear the solitary buzz? November, and the late-born flies come to the house to die. Hardly ever see them alive. They stop in the corners. One just buzzed near me, but I'm young and healthy here. I do not listen to flies. Snowfire. Evening again. In mid-January, somewhere by the side of a country road, a small fire smolders in the snow, left now by the men who had come to cut branches. The small fire burns, abandoned, pictorial, and useless. While I huddle to the wall for warmth and curse my luck, miserable the cold, couldn't get worse. Somewhere, a blue jay is barely seen against the snow. Meadows without footprints. Somewhere, a fire in the hearth, warm and easy conversation. But what do they know of beauty? What do they know of the twist on the tooth that makes the pain, that blinds the eyes that need to see what to take to ease the pain? Somewhere, I can make it out, a cow is grazing. Many cows are grazing. There's a separate field up the road where 17 Black Angus cattle make a picture. But what do they know of beauty? They turn away from the fire. They talk about how severe the weather is. Damn skull tooth and white stone, I'll make better sense in my corner than all the sunsets seen by Clibber Clabber, by all those damn Clibber Clabbers who hang out there. While you do nothing, you can enjoy life, like sitting under the apple tree, cider there enough to cure the cold wind passing by. Or lie back with eyes closed against the sun and winds of autumn, and the comfort of a warm house, wood fire logs waiting and soon to burn and crackle against the winds that aim at mountains. A house in the mountains. You can enjoy yourself and do nothing, with hours of watching a valley move through colors and into the dark, and do nothing, slowly touch the dry leaves, the cold stone, or the roughly velveted mosses, enjoy the silences and the separate sounds of the wind. The winds are moving the mountains. Do nothing. Move as slowly as, taste whatever taste that makes you move, no matter how slowly, to the ever-dying peace. Enjoy the peace. The winds may do nothing. The house is tight. Some peace will last. And do nothing. Enjoy life. All clover. Sitting pretty in the catbird seat. You needn't move. Enjoy yourself. All my healthy parts commune, and the stalking shape of things to be runs through my arms and down my wrists and out my fingers, spoiling my healthy mouth. My whole being dreams of water. A boy's face is wet, available, and healthy. At school, his lessons attack his health. It's the same old story. 4 parts left. Who goes there? What's the look? 3 parts left. How many names? I've 2 good eyes, healthy parts, and the darkening shape of things to be brawls round my spine and spoils the space I fill. The world's been destroying me with its notions about my potions and the ways to my pain. Shall I shoot myself backwards or ahead, down and under? Surely you know, nothing is illegal at the center of pain. In my pocket there's heaven, so please, Mr. Cheese, kiss off. Think of something soft. Wool, lamb's wool, angel hair. You know, if you inhale, these things will kill. So reconsider the soft. Choking, you get wise. Think of the pragmatic steel, cast iron, or lead. But if turned against you, these things too will kill. So you're confused and ever watchful, lest some sharp blow undo you. You hardly ever sleep. You hire a taster for your food, and outside you never spit into the wind. So meek, mighty in their devastation, the heads stacked before me, the cracked face, clean and lasting. I see a smile squeezed against a nose or eye, a heap of teeth, a brief glance at real horror. One time I pulled my car over to the side of the road. I had to straighten my spine, unbend, stretch out, and ease the pain. I arched back and saw the stars. I fell forward to free the pain. And a pile of luminous faces seemed to rise up on the surface of the stagnant pond by the roadside. I got back in the car and chased the wind. Beast is a wolf with brown fire, runs across meadows and bounds up into old farms now stubbly and overgrown. She runs through brush, she rests among the evergreen and the poplar, her eyes are pinned to the light, flickering through the leaves. She pants white mists, she lounges. She changes sex in the shadows and emerges in red fire. The beast is a wolf and she goes to you. She's found you out, my love. What black spider would weave herself a veil were she not a widow? Man gone, lost at sea, dong, dong. Still, in the north eaves, she has web enough for home, and visitors come. There is a dead center where she rests, mourns, and ingests. Snake. She wants Snake to shake her next. First it was some grave story, a fairy tale told at bedtime. Then it was real life with a boy, a hayride, gaiety, warfare. Then she got serious, married, solved her problems, solved his problems, gave birth to a life's problems. Now she wants Snake. Snakes. As a girl, she'd find them crazy in the long grass at mowing time. She'd pick one up, green or brown, always soft-bellied and frightened. Even as a child, she knew they'd get mangled when the mower rode by. She didn't ever see herself as the savior of snakes, or in any way important to them, no matter how she loved them. Now she wants Snake to shake her back. Sleeping Man. sucking into you, I discovered a sleeping man. A man dreaming of music. He awoke and denied the dream, my disturbance. So I sought your eyes and saw my own small face. I shut my eyes and disappeared. I am folded in a kind of sleep, my angel, and the music is as soft as your surrounding. Now you tell me, what do I look at? What do I look like? And what do I take? And how often to feel straight? Now, here, or among the goldenrod? And where do I go in my dreams? Back to the boys sublime? Back to the licking love? Or back to the corner, sucking a root? Now I ask you, when the sun is almost down, less hot, and the colors deepen, what do I need to stand upright in the elements? Now, as the colors go. I'm 6 hours absent all day long, like a weasel in winter in a tree, deaf to the world. I drift in the haze, latent, secretive, absently waiting to dance the dew for 5 minutes at a time. You, my enemy, watch me last for 5 minutes at a time. Then watch me fade into the 6-hour haze, sniff the way I breathe. Deep in the haze, I'm fine. So fine, in fact, I'm fed through veins. Now watch again closely. I'm the dark speck drifting in the luminous sky. The sudden recognition that all is not well. The restive hour that spends the day. The thing that will not scare until I burst out to dance for 5 minutes. I last the while in the grandest style. You watch me do for 5 minutes at a time. Walks into my footprints, curious everywhere I go, which means she's been treating me so one way. Every time my mouth falls open, she's in it. Every time I mention tomorrow, she's against it. And whenever I have fever, yes, in the middle of my fever, she takes my heat and wears it like her own, sweet own. She's got a bulldog, a pack of friends, and a scar, and not one of those things treats me with consideration. I don't know if I'll ever get out of here alive. It's where I need to be. crystal coke and fine mist wine is where I need to be. The devil took the lesser soul and left the skin for me. In fallow fields of discontent, the faggot devil lies. His fists are tight, his movements light, and watch how well he dies. He comes again to take a spine, to take a leaf and leave a stain. His death is but a parody of dying grief beneath the pain. So it's cold beneath the wind, and it's where I want to be. And crystal coke and fine mist wine are all that's left for me. For the devil, he took that fattened soul and left just the skin for me. So good. Time after time. The day, getting on into August, lags along to evening. No, it smashes along like a silent machine, greased. It slides past me. And the hours rush to the hair's breadth. Everything is a hover of speed but me. I am so still, relaxed, sliding backwards slowly into this night. Toss a stone out and lose a hand, an arm, all your weight. You do better floating, holding still, not wasting your time, losing your limbs. One day, I felt myself temporary in my hat, temporary in my shoes, temporary in all my clothes. I was worrying overtime. So I got free, bought all new stuff, was solid on my feet, didn't know who to greet, and what with that new sense of cash and ease, for 3 days running, it never got late.